Hello everyone, welcome in. This is Cleo and I'm going to be doing a reading and seeing what Spirit wants you to know about your spiritual pathway. Take what resonates, leave the rest, and I hope you're all doing really well out there. Thanks for being here. I'm going to dive straight in. Spirit guides, angels, higher beings, what do we need to know? Show me. Something could be moving slower than you'd like. I'm getting that something's more complex for the non-physical or the universe to arrange for you than you might realize. Okay, so be patient, they're saying. I'm hearing the name Samantha. And April the 2nd, so those could be signs for you. Don't worry if those things don't resonate. It doesn't mean the reading's not for you. Okay, we've got the Three of Cups falling out there. So I feel like you're eager to celebrate life, or a celebration is being arranged for you, you know. Raising your life by a few octaves. You're raising the frequency of your consciousness. Show me main energies. Oh. You could be very adaptable at the moment, or you could be thinking of quitting something and starting something else. We've got the Hierophant here, okay? A majestic vision I'm getting. You really want to make the most of life. You really want to make the most of something. And you want to take the proper steps to do it. So you're looking to a higher power here. I'm hearing guru, spiritual guru. You could be thinking of being a life coach, guiding others, and you want to make sure you've got the right resources in place and the right knowledge. You know, maybe you're brushing up on your knowledge, recapping on things you already know, you know, jogging your own memory with things, going over things, and really wanting to branch out, perhaps on your own or into this new arena where you can take all your life skills and all your gifts with you and help other people. Ooh. Show me. I feel like you are antsy to maybe leave a current job or positioning. King of Swords. Yeah, you're getting your mind right when it comes to this new venture, and I do feel like this is you becoming some sort of a mentor or coach. You'll know straight away if this reading is for you because you will have considered going into maybe the spiritual professions. Maybe you want to be a tarot reader, maybe you want to be a psychic or a medium. It's something like that. It doesn't have to be a life coach or a spiritual guru, but something in the occult arena, the psychic arena, or the holistic arena. You know, something spiritual, something that really makes your higher self glow. And, you know, I do feel like your higher self is reaching out to pull you up. I'm seeing a very strong hot pink energy coming through. Rose quartz could mean something to you. But right now you're taking this very seriously. I can see that with the King of Swords. And your strategy here is pure strength, really holding the target in your mind and doing whatever it takes to get there. You know, we see this man feeding the wolf, and, you know, it's debatable what he's actually feeding this wolf. Could be that he's got a stone in his hand, bizarrely enough, they're telling me. So at first, it almost looks like he's being fed a bottle. But actually, I feel like, you know, there's a funniness to this card where, you know, you're realizing that there's a lot more to something than you thought at first, and that one person's healing is another person's it wouldn't help them. You know, you're realizing that healing is individual for each individual person, but you want to get your foundations right. You know, very shamanic, this energy. It's very shamanic. You know, being kind to one person would be being cruel to another. Being helpful to one would be being hazardous to another. So you're realizing the individuality of each person you're going to be dealing with. Or maybe you're going through some sort of a shamanic gateway. I'm hearing stepping stone. Okay, so the man's holding a stepping stone for the wolf. So it's like you're bringing all different parts of you on board with this. Gathering parts of yourself so that you can be very aligned and, you know, like a reliable reader or a reliable psychic or someone who's got their methods in place so that you can be sure that they are solid and secure, and to be sure that, you know, what you're doing really works and works well and that you can repeat it. So you're honing your tactics here. And I like the way you're taking yourself very seriously with this, looking up to the elders for wisdom. I'm getting perhaps in your meditation, rituals. There's something about you know, connecting to the higher realms ritualistically and pacing yourself. Okay, pacing yourself. I feel like you're learning to do that. You're learning to be patient here with the strength energy. Show me. Queen of Swords. Okay, we've got a match here with the King and the Queen of Swords. So I definitely feel like, you know, your nurturing elements are very ingrained. I feel like, you know, you're happy with how you nurture people and your empathy. I feel like your empathy is perfect. And maybe that's why you want to sort of get the masculine side of your brain a little bit more involved here. You know, I'm hearing the word tempered. So it's almost like, you know, you're very healing. You know, you care about people. You know, what you've got is like medicine and it's very helpful. But you also need to be practical when it comes to your needs and monetizing this in the right way. And setting boundaries, you know, with healing type people, with empaths and mystics and shamans. I feel like, you know, you really need to somehow make your spiritual gifts viable in the physical world. And so there's a lot of organization I see that you're doing here, but you're on the right track. They want you to know you're definitely on the right track. You're taking your memos and your wisdom from the right sources. Okay, 5 of Pentacles here, but you know, you need to fulfill your own needs at the same time as helping others. And maybe you found in the past that when you give of this nurturing side of yourself, people can take. And I feel like now is the time to monetize what comes naturally to you. There we go, 8 of Pentacles. Following on from the 5 of Pentacles here. Okay, so this is getting your ducks in a row, getting everything organized and taking it out into the public arena in a way that's prosperous for you and also for your clients and the people you're going to be working with. So this is you finding the balance in the right way so that you can really be who you truly are and monetize that on a daily basis. And I feel like, you know, you are sort of rebalancing at the moment. So there could be a bit of impatience and then you feel relaxed. And, you know, it's because your whole soul, your whole system is realigning itself to match up with this pathway that you've chosen here. So they're saying if you feel a bit up and down, a bit up in the air, a bit this and a bit that, and, you know, there are oppositional forces inside of you, you know, it's just you finding this new groove and settling into it. So there's nothing going wrong here. You're doing perfectly well. Show me. Ooh. One at a time. The Sun card here. Okay, so this is just so beautiful to see the Hierophant and the Sun card and the strength coming out on the table. This is you having this beautiful soul and you know you're meant to share this with the world in a way that's win-win for you and for the world, and you're headed perfectly in the right direction. This is the most beautiful card to have as your main focus, being happy and bringing happiness to others. And it's lovely to feel this level of inspiration inside of you where you're just sort of bursting with ideas and with life and with this urge to move forward. And I'm hearing the word counsel. You know, it's like you feel great and you want other people to feel great too, and you want to share what you've learned. And I'm hearing, you know, happiness is contagious. So I feel like, you know, you are a really happy person. We've got Leo twice here with the Strength and the Sun energy. Taurus energy. So you're becoming very stable in who you are as well. Virgo with the 8 of Pentacles. We've got Libra here, Aquarius. And Sagittarius. No, why am I saying that? You could be a Sagittarius. Bit of Virgo on the table. Show me. 4 of Wands. Oh, lovely. So in terms of incoming energies that will help you on this pathway, I'm seeing that there's a group of people who will make you feel like, you know, you're coming home to them, people that will feel really familiar to you. So this could be a new workplace, or it could be, you know, you finding people along your pathway that confirm to you, yes, I made the right choice and I know this by how I feel, so enveloped by love and understanding. There could be a party with that 3 of Cups popping out falling out of the deck at the beginning of the reading. I feel like your life is going to turn into an everyday celebration. You know, I feel like you want every day to feel, at least on a subtle level, as if it is a celebration. And, you know, it looks like you are really heading in the right direction with this. The Fool card, a whole new fresh start, being a whole new version of you. You know, your instincts are so good here and you're doing it happily. You know, you've got things in your life the way you want them. And you know now you can go out in the world, and even if there are darker energies around, you can maintain your frequency and your vibration. And you're going to stumble into a group setting, or, you know, this is like you going into a chapter where everything confirms that you made the right choice. The sun's energy really blesses this reading. So if you've been thinking of moving into an arena helping others, and knowing that this is what you want to do because it just makes you feel so uplifted, the divine is saying, yes, this is what you're supposed to do. You're on the right pathway. And, you know, rearranging your whole life to do something that your soul is calling you to do. It can feel like there are a few, you know, responsible things we've got to do. 10 of Wands energy. It can feel like, okay, so I've got to fill out this form. I've got to do this, and you might have to move, and who knows what might happen. But, you know, you're in the strongest position you've ever been in, is what they want you to know. And everything, you know, abundance and friends and support will fall into your lap. Okay, so I feel like you're just in this position where you're like not even fazed by things that maybe would have phased you previously in your life, or things that commonly phase other people. You're just not phased by it because you found this vibrational purity. I'm getting, you found this connection to the divine that keeps you afloat in your mind no matter what, you know, comes at you. So this looks like a breeze. This looks like a walk in the park. And funnily enough, you know, it does look like there's a breeze flowing onto this being on the Fool card. And that's what I feel like you're walking into, a breezy new reality where the universe is just putting things in front of you and letting you know, this is your pathway, and you will know because it just keeps lighting up and lighting up and lighting up. So I feel like you're handling everything with like a pizzazz, I can't quite get the right word they're giving me here. I'm getting the word panache coming through for some reason, or maybe I'm getting my words confused. You're handling things in a beautiful way. Someone might pick up on the word while you're watching this. Might be panache. You're handling things very sophisticatedly. Let's just say that. Show me the Hierophant, please. The Four of Swords. So right now, you might be in sort of background mode, gathering data, writing notes and stuff like that. They're saying, you are buzzing right now with this impulse to move forward. They're saying just make sure you get enough rest, okay, and balance yourself nicely. Because, sometimes the higher we go, the harder, the lows feel when we run out of energy. So they're saying just balance yourself out. This opportunity is not going anywhere. You are on the right track, but make sure you get your good sleep and things like that. And the universe is coaxing you with the Four of Swords to maybe sleep more, although you could be up at night buzzing and writing down your inspirations and your ideas. They're saying this is wonderful, but this will be permanent. This happiness is permanent. So make sure, you tuck yourself in and get yourself rested as well, because it will take more out of you than you think, this new pathway, simply because it's new. And there'll be, challenges I feel like you'll breeze through. But there's going to be a lot coming at you in terms of new people, situations, celebrations. Sounds really good. We've got the Two of Wands here. The whole world being in your hands and you knowing you're in charge of what you create and what you take forward. So I do feel like there's this urging you to get everything right, because you're very aware of your manifestational power and you want to move forward in the right energy and put the right ingredients in now so that the recipe is correct as it bakes. And they're saying, you're doing this wonderfully. If anything, it's not like you're worried. We don't really have cards of worry here, but you're so efficient, you don't realize how efficient you are, is what they're saying here. So, to make yourself even more efficient, get more rest. All right. And, you can continue your notes in the morning, but, you're studious and it's wonderful. And they're saying this studiousness of yours is going to mix into this new reality in a lovely way. It's making things more organized and more streamlined for you, because your mind is like throwing out these energies that will, these energies you're throwing out now with your organized mind are paving the way in a beautiful way. And it's making the stepping stones very clear for you to walk into or walk onto in the future. So that organization you're putting in now, that effort to be organized that you're putting in now, is really making your path a lot smoother. The path you're walking onto and moving onto is being smoothed out by this dedication to doing things right. So they want to give you a pat on the back for that, a gold star I'm seeing. So well done. You're perfectly in the right position mentally. You've got the right attitude, and you're very respectful about the craft and about the way you're moving into things. You know, you're giving it the right level of respect. You're very responsible, but you also have this way of looking up to the right beings, you know, and gathering data in the right way, spiritually, psychically, and intuitively. Show me strength, please. Yeah, I feel like you're trying to sort of temper yourself a little bit because of all this passion. Strength with the Ace of Wands. So this is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy, a huge amount of fire, you know, Four of Wands, Aries energy. And, you know, I feel like Two of Wands again, Aries energy. So you're putting such a lovely amount of fire into things. And I feel like it's burning through you because you are on the right pathway. So it's lovely to feel this amount of exalted excitement. That's what I'd call it, you know, like a higher excitement where you're just like, wow, this is the path for me. I've finally found my niche. This feels so good. I feel so alive. I feel so free. But also this lovely way that you're enjoying gathering this data and sorting everything out. So they just want to say, yes, you're on the right pathway. This is beautiful. Thank you for joining us, they're saying. So you're going to be working with the divine realm. And they're saying, thank you for joining us and being so responsible and also so lovely in your heart and having your heart aligned in the right ways. And they're saying this sun represents your heart, and you're going to be pouring this gorgeous energy all over the ones you meet. You know, it's contagious. Your energy has a special way of passing into the magnetic fields of others and uplifting their life. And, you know, you're like medicine on legs is what they're saying. Medicine on legs. Show me the Queen of Swords. So, you know, you can see a spider on here, a web that's being spun, and a lovely lady who to me reminds me of the High Priestess sat doing her diligent work here. Beautiful, rich, inky rock that she sat on. Again, rocks for some reason keep coming up in this reading. Show me. Queen of Swords. Temperance. So there's you being medicine on legs, taking energy from the divine and imparting your knowledge or your energy or your wisdom or your teachings and all your gifts on others. All right. So this is lovely. The foundation you've created with the King and Queen of Swords, this intellectual understanding of your magic or your healing gifts. So you are the cure for a lot of people. And again, we've got the sun in the background here on the Temperance card. You know, you're balancing yourself out in such a beautiful way where you've got 1 foot in the divine water and 1 foot on the land. And, you know, you're a conduit now. You're a messenger for the divine, for the shamans, for the non-physical energies or the astral or etheric energies. You're a messenger for etheric energies now. Strength again on the 5 of Pentacles. So this just doubles up, you know. It doesn't surprise me feeling all of this glorious sunshiny energy in your aura that we've got the Strength card twice. So that's triple Leo energy and you being completely aligned with your sovereign pathway. So I just love to see that. And the wolf, the lion, you know, this kind of balancing your own nature out so well. I feel like you've already done most of this, although this Strength card is showing up on the 5 of Pentacles. So they're saying, you know, maybe you've had to leave a job behind or a town behind. When it comes to pursuing this, they're saying we're with you every step of the way. Don't worry about, you know, anything that looks a bit sparse. Maybe you've had to give up your job and really go all in or get a loan or something like that. They're saying this will be rectified very soon. All right. So anything you're worried about when it comes to material things, I feel like you already know. The divine has got it covered, and, you know, you'll be making more than you've ever made before. very soon. Okay. And they're saying, don't worry about wanting money. If someone out there might be feeling like, oh, should I really be charging for this? Yes. All right. Everything's spiritual, even money, and your energy is very valuable. And again, they're very glad to have you on board with, being a messenger for the etheric and the divine realm. So, please be aware that, money's a part of life and everything is spiritual. So they're saying, you're very valuable. Don't feel bad commanding a high price for your gifts, all right? Because money makes the world go round, all right? And it's part of the currency of life. So, anything that you've had to give up will return to you tenfold in terms of the pursuit of this pathway. The Lovers, Gemini energy. And, this is about it can mean love in certain readings. But in this reading, what it means is you are really balancing out the logical side of your mind with the emotional or the psychic side of your mind, your left brain with your right brain. And you're getting it tweaked and tuned so that you can, access that prefrontal cortex in a balanced, beautiful, clear way. Not surprising. We've got the Ace of Wands right above this card. So the Lovers is about the transmutation of the mind and finding the perfect balance of ingredients in your own mind to go forward with. And you're doing it in a major arcana way. So that tells me that, you're really shifting things on your pathway in a beautiful way and doing it in alignment with the major arcana, with the angels watching you. So that's good. Another confirmation that you're doing things perfectly well. I'm getting you sharing your fruit. And that's what, ideally we all come to do in our lives, find our sovereign purpose and live it. So they're saying we're all very proud of you for, following this calling, because it takes a lot of twists and turns of the mind to get into this spot. And you've untangled yourself from some situations that maybe would have held you back in the past, and they're very proud of you for doing that. And they're speaking for me. They're saying Cleo Ra's very proud of you too. Okay, so maybe you're one of my viewers that's been watching for a while, and following the videos, and you've really shifted your life, and they're very proud of you for doing so. Show me the Four of Wands, please. This incoming energy that's going to make you feel so amazing. Knight of Swords, so quick changes. And again, that energy of being swept up by a very strong divine breeze as you move forward, knowing yourself very well. All right, Gemini energy, lots of communication. You could be hearing from someone. You could have applied for something. You'll be hearing from them soon. But whatever you're moving into, it'll feel like home. It will feel like, wow, this is really where I'm supposed to be. This feels so beautiful and amazing. I'm hearing the word gracious. So you could find it really refreshing to really be in this social pool that really suits your soul. And it'll be the most suited you've ever been to a situation. This new life you've carved out for yourself. It will suit you so well that it's just going to be absolutely, it's going to make your heart warm. How easy this is going to feel. And you're going to realize, wow, all this stuff is real. All this universal law stuff, all this manifestation stuff. I'm really living it. I'm living proof. You'll become living proof that when we follow our own star, we end up in a lifestyle that just suits our heart so beautifully. And there we go. The 10 of Cups on top of the Fool card energy here. So this is you moving into this lovely, warm environment, helping so many people, filling people's hearts with joy. Okay. And I'm getting that your energy is very heavenly. And they're very glad to have you doing this work. The non-physicals, Judgment on the bottom of the deck. The angels called you and you listened. So they're saying, well done. Thank you so much for listening to us. Thank you so much for being you. That's very sweet. Show me the Sun card, please. Again, lots of celebration on this card. Warmth and celebration. And this is after a period of time. We've got the Five of Pentacles again. And Judgment again on the bottom of the deck. This is... Eight of Swords. This is after a period of time where, it wasn't easy for you to get onto this platform of self-knowing, but you did it. You passed all the challenges, and you will feel with this Four of Wands energy like you've come in out of the cold of life. The rawness and those vulnerable feelings we can feel, they're slowly dissipating for you. I don't feel too much vulnerability here at the moment, although the Strength card does indicate to me that you're having to, or have had to pull on reserves of strength to get to this positioning. But you've been very brave with the Five of Pentacles showing up twice. We've got strength twice and the Five of Pentacles twice. This is you being like, I don't care what the world throws at me. I'm strong. My mind's beautiful and I can move forward with full divine protection and really know that even if things seem a little shifty at first, even if things seem a little bit shaky in my reality, I know that that's a sign for me that it's not the right position for me and it's not a position for me to settle in. I'm going to keep moving forward till I feel good. And I'm going to keep pulling on that strength. And I know the universe will meet me with the equivalent of what I offer. So that's a really nice energy here. You know, you're conquering any anxieties, you're conquering any fears and moving into this full sovereign positioning. Funnily enough, as I said, that moving, right? And you may find that with your work, that words pop out of your mouth while you're talking or something like that, especially with Gemini energy. You could be some sort of oracle or you could speak as you're given messages, but they're giving me the energy of the cow here, solidity, Taurus energy with the Hierophant. You're really solidifying your spiritual, I was about to say profession and positioning at the same time. You're solidifying who you are with the universe now in a really perfect way. This is perfect. They're saying, you know, fears are part of the journey. And, you know, having to pull on our strength over and over again is part of the journey, but you've done it. And if you've been near cows and you feel how solid they are and how cute and solid they are at the same time, they're saying, you know, maybe you are a Taurus or you've got Taurus positionings in your chart, or maybe for someone, they're saying, look at your second house. Oh, they want me to get a specific deck. They're saying, look at your second house, your value system. Even if you've got no planets there, they're saying there's something about your second house, your values. I call the second house like the safe of the birth chart. This is where you keep, you know, things that are sacred to you. They're saying, look at the sign your second house is in. You're making progress. All these steps you've made towards this beautiful harmony as you've gone through your sacred journey. Limitations will be lifted. Okay, a few chains here, and I feel like you wriggled out of those and you're in the process of really cutting through them. You know, maybe there's one little chain left and, you know, you're getting that chopped away, or you're getting your bolt cutters out and you're getting rid of it. Outside forces are helping you here. The divine is fully on your side. And we've got rewards here and independence. There's that cutting ties, you know, and star power. Cutting ties, star power you took the steps and you're doing really well here. So, you know, financial limitations will be a thing of the past very soon. They're saying get yourself into that abundant mindset because, you know, the universe rewards the ones with such a generous heart as yours, and particularly those who manage to get into that sovereign knowing of the self and following it regardless of what the outside world is telling them. Initially, you know, you got out of an old chapter that just didn't suit you, and, you know, perhaps you listened to my videos for a while and you really picked up on some metaphysical knowledge, or you did this elsewhere, but you've really taken the steps here in a beautiful way to make your dream life a reality, and sixth house energy to be of service to others at the same time. So the rewards will be beautiful, and I feel like for you, the people that you'll be around and have beautiful bonds with will mean the most to you. You know, they'll make you feel richer than anything else ever could. We've got Lilith here. So perhaps you harnessed your shadow energy and learned that, you know, you need a balance between the light and dark parts of yourself, and that your shadow, because you're a heartful person, your shadow is just as helpful as, you know, the light part of yourself, and we can't go out into the world without it, really. It puts us in vulnerable, potentially dangerous situations. So, you know, Spirit is saying make sure you've got your shadow engaged here while you're balancing yourself out. You know, it's normal for you to have both light and dark within you, but as long as the actions you take, you're doing with heart and with good intention, your shadow's your best friend. Hence the wolf, hence the lion on the strength card. They're saying don't cut out that shadow that keeps you safe and defends you and knows your worth just because you're going into spiritual work, when in fact it's needed more because you're going into spiritual work. You see, Neptunian energy. Okay, so there's that energy of you pulling on the watery psychic pools of energy. So the more rest you get, the more clear things become. Show me. You might want to look at where Neptune is in your birth chart as well if you're trying to enhance your gifts and really knuckle down. Because it could be that you haven't really it could be, and trust me, it's the same for everyone. It could be that you know you're gifted and you know you're psychic, but it's just sort of framing it in the right way. It could be that you're still working on that, on how to really convey your gifts. And they're saying, you know, that will come. Taurus energy. They're saying, Cleo, tell them, you know, sometimes you've just got to put one foot in front of the other and not really know how to frame your gifts, but know that you're following your guidance and everything else will take care of itself, if that makes sense. You know, I still don't find it too easy to frame my gifts, but I just go with the flow and I'm helping people, and that's what matters. So they're saying, you know, your gifts will become more solidified with Taurus energy, that beautiful cow energy again, right? So, you know, they're saying, you know, be sassy, be very aware of where your Lilith is placed, and this energy will help you as you move through this pathway. And we've got Sovereign Manifester. Gorgeous. So you're really going for gold here. You know, you could sun gaze quite a lot. They're saying that could be helpful for you if you don't already do it. But they're really listening to you. They want you to know, you know, your goals and the way you are aiming to make your life more beautiful and other people's lives more beautiful has been noted, and they're very happy to have you on board. Okay, so they're saying thank you for being a sovereign manifester. Make sure, you know, you keep your Lilith or your shadow energy as part of your package, okay? Because just because we move into the psychic arena or the spiritual arena doesn't mean that everyone's all sweetness and light. So someone could need to hear that out there. And I don't mean to sound patronizing if you're not that person. Okay, take what resonates, leave the rest. You know how it is. And meditation here. So your gifts are deepening for this new stage. It's not quite ready yet. Okay, you're just getting to really be comfortable with your potentials. But more meditation, or make your meditation something about doing it at the same time every day and really connecting with those Neptunian energies within you, becoming more aware. They're telling me 8th house for Taurus for some reason. Look at your 8th house. Look at your 2nd house. See where Neptune is and check where your Venus is. There's something to do with your 8th house, your Venus sign, your Lilith. Ugh. So you might want to screenshot all of this, okay? But well done for being on the perfect pathway for you. Let's get you a couple of charms. I feel like you really deserve it. Okay, the genie in the lamp. Okay, the lamp. Okay, making your own wishes come true. We've got the crab here. We've got best friends, and we've got this beautiful rich blue. They're telling me a rich blue teardrop. So what you're going to be helping people do is turn tears into happiness, you know, or turn the energies. Maybe you're going to be therapizing them somehow, or, you know, giving psychic medium readings where you connect people with their loved ones, something like that. You know, where they could be feeling quite vulnerable and you just turn their experiences into a rich elixir that makes them feel wonderful regardless, you know, of what they've already been through. Cancerian energy here. So you've definitely got that empath's touch. They're saying, you know, make sure you've got your shell on, because, you know, empaths need that protection. Okay, so they really want you to go forward with a good guard, with your armor up, and don't feel bad about that. Okay, and you know that best friends charm has come out for this 4 of Wands. So do know that you're headed towards the most rich and beautiful, rewarding bonds. And yeah, your wishes are coming true here with this gorgeous lamp. So I do hope this reading has been a wonderful confirmation for you. Sending you a lovely hug, and I'm very proud of you. And the Divine Realm are very proud of you also. Lots of love.